Hey guys, this is Callum from EnglishShooting and welcome back to the channel and the Bluefield Sports Gun Room, because today I'm going to be showing you how to fully magload a 1522. Now I go on all the time about the 1522 and also all of the magload parts, and here I have a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 Performance Center, and you can see all of the magload bits are already on it, and that's because it was actually done and filmed a few days ago. But it was meant to be part of one video, but it got a little bit too long, so I decided to split it up and make this into a separate video. So if you're interested in how to fit the parts or what all the different upgrade parts do, stick around for this video. But we're going to go back into the past and show you exactly how this rifle came to be in its current state. I can certainly say that Sportsman Gun Centre wrap their deliveries very, very well. Of course, Sportsman is the UK importer of the Smith & Wesson 1522. It's a brand new gun, obviously only been fired for proofing. If you don't know about proofing, basically it's a requirement. Any guns that go for sale within the UK, they need to go to the proofing house. They put, I think it's 1 or 2 shots through it. Basically tests that the gun is safe and functional. But here we have completely untouched. This actually, didn't know this, it's the Performance Center. So this is literally the top tits 1522 that you can buy. You've got this fluted barrel. It comes with, I believe it's a Hogue grip. It doesn't actually say Hogue, but it's very rubbery, very ergonomic. You've got Performance Center on the side there, just if you're confused with what you've bought. And I know it does have an upgraded stock over the standard. This is the Viltor stock. But yeah, and I believe as well that the Performance Centers do have an uprated trigger in them, but apart from that, it is a completely standard gun. And interestingly, they don't supply you with the 30 round magazine for the Performance Center, it's just the 10 round. But yeah, this gun's going to get real different really quickly, so let's crack out the magload bits and see what upgrades are going to go on it. Right, so funnily enough, I've been told that the person that's bought this rifle and bought all the upgrade bits is actually a subscriber and fan of the channel. So if you're watching, I'm going to molest your gun, hopefully make it better, but hopefully they're going to look forward to coming down and picking up their new gun, and I'll be able to hand it over to them personally. So what do we have here? It's pretty much the full selection of bits that you can upgrade a Smith with magload parts. We've got the competition magwell there, makes it so much easier to load. We've got the ambidextrous mag release. So we've had a few questions about this. It's not ambidextrous as in terms of identical both sides, but it's a different mechanism. So you've got the enlarged button there. Let's open it up and show you a bit closer. It comes with 2 buttons as standard as well. You used to have to choose one. So in the package, you should have a spare button there and the Allen key to fit it. So you have a choice between the honeycomb button, which was the first design, and then the magload. Now, people seem to prefer the magload one better because well, it's got magload on it, right? So in terms of it being ambidextrous, you've obviously got this much larger button on the side, which will replace that button. But on the other side there, you can see that it's sub-flush. So there's no way that that's ever going to activate the mag release, whereas this will actually sit proud, and you'll be able to use this side to release the button. But we'll get that on there and show you how it looks. We've got a muzzle brake as well. These are super popular, 3D printed. Everyone doubted that it could be done 3D printing, and Connors once again proved everyone wrong. Again, with a 2.2 you might not think there's much recoil or muzzle flip, but it does keep the muzzle flatter, and if you're doing something like speed still, your shot to shot really does matter. That's probably the easiest one to do, so let's do that first. I'm really impressed. I've never really got that up close and personal with a performance model. but it is a significant difference to the standard 15-22. So to fit the muzzle brake, so perhaps people that have bought Magload stuff, perhaps you've just had it arrive and you're not sure how to fit it on. Hopefully, well, going through all of this today, we'll be able to show you how to put it on. So with this, you've got a little locking nut that you put on first with the muzzle brake, and that just allows you to set it in place. And obviously a muzzle brake's pretty easy to fit, you just screws on, doesn't it? I'm going to get that on as far as it will go, probably about that. Make sure that it's on level. Then all I'm going to do is tighten up this sort of locking nut, and then that's not going to go anywhere. So that's one muzzle brake fitted, and I'll keep that because the customer probably wants to keep that as spares. What else do we have? So we talked about the Ambi and the Magwell. We've got the extensions. Now the extensions don't work on the 10 rounders, they only work on the 30 rounders, and that's because of the geometry of the magazine. So I guess he has some more magazines. If they're in stock, I don't know, they might be lying about here somewhere. They're really easy to fit, but I can show you how you fit those in a second. We've also got the 30-degree safety. Now I rave about this all the time because it makes it just like a button. So you've got a full, obviously this one isn't ambidextrous anyway, for any left-handed shooters that's going to be a problem, but with this you've got a full 90-degree sort of swing, and I find that if you're on a stage, whilst you can flick it, it's more, you really do have to push it down, and sometimes you can find that you only get it sort of the 45 or just before it's going to click on, and then you'll go to shoot and your safety is still on. So with the 30-degree, obviously you're decreasing by 60 degrees in terms of the throw. It just makes it so much faster. And again, with the ambidextrous safety, it's fixed on one side, so that side is enlarged. If you don't particularly care for the ambidextrous, you can go for a smaller sort of lever on the other side, or you can go for the larger one and then it's identical either side. Let's go for the Magwell. The Magwells are super easy to fit. And it's gone for obviously black for everything, but there's a huge variety of different colours. So to fit your Magwell, well that's pretty much on, but what you do need to do is tighten it up. So these nuts basically make sure, or screws even, make sure that they don't come off, and you can potentially see how it locks on to the back of the Magwell there. So they come down secure, means that the Magwell is on there solid, it's not going to move. So we're going to fit the ambidextrous mag release now. It's actually pretty simple. Basically all you're going to have to do is press in this as hard as you can. I find that actually using a screwdriver saves your fingers a little bit more. You're going to stick it out as far as you can on this side, and then you're just going to rotate the back. Can be a little tricky on the first one to clear the release for the bolt, but you just keep screwing. There you go, pinned out, and then you've got all your bits here. So the way that it's constructed is obviously this is all inside the gun, and that's got a screw in it. That's your original mag release button, and just screws on. But we'll put these back together just so it's not lost. If the customer ever wants to revert the gun back to standard, he can. And then for this, you're going to have to find a little Allen key. Now I'm going to fit the Magload button on it, but once you've fitted the whole mechanism, the metalwork of it, it's really simple to switch over your buttons if you want to go to the honeycomb, if you want to try that out for a match or a bit of training session. But on the Magload one, you've got this little screw. The Allen key is supplied because it's quite a small one, you might not have it. And the button slides off. So you can see there's some grooves in there and like a dovetail. It doesn't come off that way, it doesn't twist off, you need to slide it off and then deconstruct this. So you're just left with this piece here. Put that through the gun, drop the spring onto it, onto this side, and then to get it threaded initially, you can do it just about through here, just to get it on there. I'd screw it as much as you can on this side, and obviously just check that it's in the right orientation. So now you have to finish screwing it through on the other side. Now this can be quite a critical part. If you don't have it screwed in enough or too much, you might have some release issues, but pretty much as long as the screw that's coming through is flush with the very edge of this button, that's usually good to go. But you can see I'm pushing it through with this on the right hand side and just screwing it round. There you go, that's pretty much flush. I mean, you can test it before you put the button on there. Just make sure it's nice and secure. That's all working, and now you can see that on this side it protrudes it, and that's what gives you the ambidextrous functionality. So if you press it on that side, it falls free. Now that's actually interesting. It's not falling completely free. It might be because everything's brand new and fresh, but I can see, well, you can see on the magwell, it's not the magwell interfering with it. It's not the magazine release. It is just the magazine getting caught up there. So you might want to, I don't know, lube that up, sand it down a little bit. If you're in competition, you do want your magazines to drop free, but that's how you get the majority of the button and the ambidextrous mag release button installed. So now what you're going to do is, I like to make sure, because you don't want to have like half of it caught on this, I like to press down on it and then slide it in, and it can help if you hold it around the other side. So I'm going to press down on that button, slide it into place, and just make sure that the hole is aligned with the screw hole. You've got this little screw again, put that in, tighten that up, and there we go. Again, you want to function test it. It's locked in as soon as you press it. And then again, we're talking about the bolt release on the M2. Again, for me, this is the same reason you would use that. Trying to get onto that, you're going to have to search for it. It's a much smaller surface. You're going to have to think it's more of a conscious motion. With this, pretty much anywhere your finger's in place, you know, you can do it on the back of the button, you can do it on the front of the button. It's just so much easier to get onto, and it's really going to speed up your mag changes. Let's try it with a bigger magazine. So this is one of the Bluefield Sports demo models in the trademark Bluefield Sports Blue. So even that's binding on there. I think it's just where it's a new gun. The magwell doesn't seem to be interfering with it at all. But the ambi's working, and the other side as well. So that's all good. Gun probably just needs a little bit more wearing in. Now the thing that's going to take you the most time is going to be the safety, because you do have to completely strip down the gun pretty much to get to it. So let's take the upper off. So the first thing you're going to have to do is remove the grip. So one thing to bear in mind when you take the grip off is that there are loads of detent springs and pins. So you want to be very, very careful that you don't crush them, you don't lose them. It's the sort of thing you'll be searching on your hands and knees for hours on, trying to look for. It's quite a long screw, this, so you've got to keep going for a little while. But there we can see, you're going to see all the pins and springs. Let's carefully pull that up. And if this is your first time doing it, make a mental note of where everything goes. Then you're going to have two pins that fall out. I like to remove them just so I know that they're out of there. And you've also got the pin there for the safety. And obviously the breakdown pin. And that's your original safety. So I'm going to fit the large lever. Again, once this is all fitted in place, it's pretty simple to change the two buttons. But what I'm going to do is slide it in there. comes with a screw, obviously, to secure it all. Push that on the other side. Right, so that's it pretty much in place. Now you've got to put all the springs and pins, or turn it around the other way. Actually, so that one's going to go there. So the plastic pin is for the safety, followed by this bronze coloured spring. You've got this brass pin, that's actually your takedown pin, detent. So make sure that your pin's back in place, the takedown pin. Drop that in there, followed by this blue spring. Then you actually find on your grip that there is a hole. So I like to put that in there. Now be very careful with this process, and obviously don't let it fall out, because I've crushed loads of springs doing this, so take your time with it. Make sure everything's aligned up, nothing's getting crushed. Goes down there nicely, and somehow I managed to keep the screw for the grip in place. If that comes out, it can be an absolute pain trying to locate it. You hear how positive that is. You can see straight away it's just a flick, you know, 30 degree on off, and certainly when you're doing your starts and your time to first shots, it makes a huge difference. But let's reassemble the gun fully. Obviously typical start 45 degrees, and it's just flick straight on. You don't have to put that extra movement in to take the safety off. And those are the really, I would say, difficult. Did that look difficult? You can do it in what, 5-10 minutes, but that's pretty much the most of the upgrade parts fitted. And again, I don't know if there are magazines waiting for this customer, but I'll show you. I'll get an original magazine and I'll show you how to fit them. Okay, so just for the purposes, we're going to say that this is the customer magazine. So first of all, you're going to want to strip down this magazine. You've got a little retention pin there. Push that in. Now, only pull the shoe off, or the base off, partly, and I like to cover my thumb there because obviously the spring is under pressure. Pull that away, and then gently release that. This little clip, remove it. You don't need it for the extenders. There have been some people that have left these in, and obviously it reduces the capacity. And you're going to want to remove the follower. Basically, get the follower down to the bottom, push out the little load assist. Everything falls out. Grab one of your extensions. So this is how the extension will come. You need to take it apart first. There's just one screw at the back. Unscrew that. It comes apart. Take the follower out. Now you're going to want to make sure that the spring is right up inside the follower. Again, you might have issues, say, with capacity. If you don't, again, you're going to omit the original follower and the original button, so you are going to lose the load assist, and that's why we really recommend using the speed loaders, the McFadden speed loaders. I mean, even with a standard magazine, I use the speed loaders. Like, why wouldn't you? And again, as I said, this little chip here, you don't need it. Don't put it in there. So what I find is easier to do is you get an Allen key, put it at the top of the spring, and you can hold the spring down as you fit the extended base, or that's the plan anyway. So hold it down, slide it on. Now what you want to make sure is that the spring has gone into the extension. So what I like to do is pull some slack off of it, just make sure it's feeded in there, get the back of it, put that on there, feed it in, do it up. Cool. It is a Torx. Doesn't need to be on super tight, but there we go. 31 rounds, upgraded from the 25. Obviously, the customer has bought 5 of these extensions. I will take this one off of my magazine so he can fit onto his, of course. But there we go. That's how you mag load a Smith & Wesson 1522. So here we go. Got the base there, 3D printed muzzle brake. These were tested. I think it was 10,000 rounds of testing, and it lived up to it. The ambidextrous magazine release, 30-degree safety. That was it, wasn't it? Magwell. Yeah, it's Magwell on there. I think it looks awesome. And this cutout, by the way, isn't for aesthetic or for look. It's actually for this, the Black Dog 50 round drum mag. So basically it clears it. If I push that in there, you can see how it snugs in, so you can go full drum mag if you want to. So there we have a fully mag loaded 1522, how to fit all the different parts. If you do have any other questions about it, or you want to find out more about the products, then leave a comment in the comment section below. You could also head over to magload.co.uk, pick up the bits for yourself, or again, learn more about all the different products. If you're interested in a 1522, get in contact with Blue Field Sports. They are a stockist. And if you're interested in any other parts, again, magload.co.uk, drop an email, drop a message on Facebook if you're interested. But there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button and make sure you're subscribed for future videos. And as always, I hope to see you soon.